Hi guys, so it's been a while since I updated you with a vlog. So right now it is our first week of our online classes, and we haven't really started with formal classes. It's more of about like orientation and getting to know your college mates, those kind of things. And so around 1:30 a.m. I'll be meeting 1:30 p.m. rather, I'll be meeting my first professor within the school year, within the semester, and that subject is zoology. And yeah, so it's quite interesting. I already know the background of zoology, by the way, because I already took that subject way back. So I have a bit of background of zoology and how it works. Anyway, moving on from that, what's going on with my life right now? I would say since online classes will start soon, like the formal ones and not just the orientation ones, 100% I really feel so driven and excited. I don't really feel like stressed out or like feeling like anxious about what's going to happen this semester, because the usual sense or the usual feeling that I get whenever I jump into a new semester is that I kind of feel a bit anxious because what if this happens, what if that happens. But since the unfolding of 2021 started, I became more confident about myself, I became more driven, and I think my growth within that kind of mindset became really helpful for me to understand how I can do things better than how I did it way back then. So I think people are always saying that you should always be reminded to be humble, and that is so true. You should always be humble with what you know, with how you can do things, so that you can learn more. But I also want to tell you, my viewers, that you should also think about the ways that you could cultivate that confidence. There are a lot of things that you could do. I'm not saying that you should do it, but you could do, okay? So this year I already made up my mind that I plan to switch, or let's say the word shift, to psychology, to take the BS psychology degree and drop my BS medical technology degree, which I worked my ass off for 3 years, okay? So I just want to clarify that I worked my ass off for 3 years in trying to get to that RMT stage of being a medical technologist. But there are a lot of things that happened, and I know to myself those reasons. And I just became more authentic, and I listened to myself, and being more having this chance to just to prove myself to myself, right, that I can do a lot of things outside medical technology, because I do enjoy taking up medical technology for a few years. But since my junior year, which was last semester, sorry for me stuttering, which was last semester, I kind of felt that it wasn't really for me, because I was trying to work this given load for me, and it's just not that practical. Like, there are things that you can handle, there are things that you can manage, but there are also things that you cannot manage, and we just have to be mature enough to accept that. So I became mature enough to accept to myself that medical technology, I think this time of my life, is really not for me. And through time, we have a lot of changing goals, changing desires, changing things that we want to follow in life. And my journey in medical technology ended there. So yeah, I really had a lot of work within my inner self, with the loved ones of my life, my parents and the people around me, my friends, everyone. I asked them for advice. I asked them, sometimes, because the best advice that they could tell you, just follow your intuition, which is true, right? So I just followed my intuition. I listened to it. I did a lot of work within me, and psychology, I think, is the best path for me, because it just defines my authentic self. It defines my interest. It defines things that I want to tackle about. It defines the things that I want to learn more about, you know. So yeah, so this is gonna be a new journey within my life in the field of psychology, and I'm really into finances and financial psychology nowadays. I read a lot of books about finances and books about you know, like how do you invest and those kind of things. People are asking me, hey, why did you not take, you know, like business courses or other courses related to business, because the way that you're explaining your interest, you're going into that field. But for me, since I'm listening to my intuition and I know myself, like I know the positive skills that I can do, the negative ones, and the things that I can offer to my community, I know to myself that maybe taking a business courses is not really part of my college life, because I know I can take business courses online without even having to pay for a degree to get that course, you know, because you can access it anywhere. You can read a lot of books, you can watch it on YouTube, and you can self-learn on your own. So psychology for me is a much more interesting degree to take for my college life. And afterwards, I do plan to really venture out in financial psychology. As I told you earlier, I'm really interested to that. If not financial psychology, I'm also interested about you know, like trying to how can I add my knowledge in psychology in the field of business if it's not in financial. You know, you can do it marketing, or you can do it like sales, those kind of things. So it doesn't, you know, when I chose this path, when I chose this journey, it doesn't feel like you are stuck inside a box that you have to be this person in order to become, you know, the job that you want to get. Because in contrast to that, when I entered, you know, medical technology before, I mean, you can go to the academy, you can be a scientist and be a medical technologist and go to the hospital and the clinical, you know, the clinical setting, but it just doesn't feel right for me, you know. I think I denied myself, and I'm so guilty about it. I denied to myself that I liked it, I like it, I don't hate medical technology, you know. I try to love it, but in the long run it became more clear to me that I don't really like it at all. So yeah, I just became very honest to myself, and this is the new journey. I'm really excited because I'll be meeting my my schoolmates, and of course they're younger than me, but it doesn't really feel awkward at all, because in the workplace you will be working with a lot of people older than you, younger than you. It's a mix, you know. So I just want to tell you this message and this vlog and life update to you guys is because that you don't have to feel stuck in a certain, you know, in a certain place in your life because society, or you have this stigma inside your head that it should be like this, it should be like this. What if it's not like that, you know? What if the things that you like in your life or what your preference is way too different in reality, and you should accept that, because that's how life works, you know. So when I just learned to lean back, learn from the things that life throws me, and I just became more confident about it, you know. If I question myself or I second guess myself, sometimes it happens, and I always remind myself that hey, I'm working for my own growth, and I'm working every single day to cultivate this growth that I'm seeking, and I want to reach. Because until you're alive, you're always growing. So why second guess, you know? Like, try to learn it first before you second guess, because second guesses only gives you anxiety. That's how I learned it. It only gives me anxiety that I don't need, because it just drives my focus way too, you know, like switching places all the time. So I'll be doing some meeting with my classmates later, and I'll be showing you a bit of how we interact later. And I would really like to thank my future colleagues in the field of psychology, because your community, guys, is very healthy, and I really felt that for the 3 orientations that I joined for the couple of days. And yeah, I'm very thankful that you're creating this kind of community for your site mates, right? So thank you very much. And for all of those who is waiting for my new reaction video for K-pop, don't worry, I'll be posting that very soon. I'm still waiting for the jalapeno envy of Wavy to drop, because there's a lot of things going on in the K-pop industry, and if you are knowledgeable enough about that news, just search it up. I'm not gonna talk about that issue here. So yeah, so I'll update you again later.